Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Island Church Weekly Podcast. Joined, as always, by Pastor Will. Pastor Will, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about you, Matt? Things are going
Good.
good on the island.
Yeah, good, good, good. Well, it is good to see you again, as always. Give us a quick update. How was Sunday morning at Island Church?
Well, we had two services, two good services this week. We started with just a handful here at 8:45 in one of our last weeks, but then by the time it was over, people came in, and so that ended up being a good service. We actually had some guests in the 8:45 service again. That was a good deal, and then the 10 o'clock service was really good. I think. The message really connected based on what the people said, and I really preached out of Luke chapter 5, dealing with encounters of Jesus. I kind of dealt with some modern day things that were happening in the culture last week, and so wove those into the sermon out of Jesus' encounter with a person with leprosy, and the person with a paralyzed person, and he had his friends bring him to Jesus. That was really great. It's always a great story. And then we had Levi, that was a tax collector. I mean,
Yeah.
anti-Jewish person. And
Yep.
before it's over, we have him throwing a party,
Yep.
and inviting Jesus. So his friends, we used to do, when I was teaching evangelism, we call this party with a purpose.
Yep.
And so Matthew was actually also known as, Levi was also known as Matthew. You can see this in Matthew chapter 9, verse 9, I believe. And so we call these Matthew parties. So our people on the island like to have a good time. So have a party with a purpose. Invite them towards Jesus, invite them towards our church. And so it was we had probably either 4 or 5 new, in addition to the people that we have, young people that were here, probably late high school through college years. One had just graduated, so going to be starting his master's, and so it's good to have them here this week. Had some conversations with them. I didn't personally, but Sandy did, and I think Stacy met them, and so it was just good having people. We had so many new people, and then our people that were returning that have been last several weeks. So it was just a good day to engage with people, and so it was a good service, man. I thought the message hit, the music was solid, and then just seeing people and engaging with people. That's why we do what we do. So
Absolutely. Anytime new people are around, it's always just a great reminder of, hey, this is why we do this, right? It's not just for us. It's not an internal country club. It's, hey, there's a mission, and we're reaching out and trying to see more people come to know Jesus and grow in their faith
that's
at
right.
Island Church. So, okay, what's got you excited this week and the coming up weeks for what God's doing at Island Church?
Well, this week we got Mother's Day,
Yep.
and so that's a good thing. That's always a big day, and we've got a little surprise, little treat for them, and so that'll be good. It's a good time. This will be our last week
Okay.
for 8:45 and 10 o'clock service. So we've got that's coming up this week, and then we have major changes in terms of our schedules. We move into our summer
Yeah.
schedule,
Summer schedule.
actually, and on May 19th, and we got a couple different things with that. That's when we go to a 9:30 The Gathering. So if you come, we're not gonna have the 8:45 service. We'll just let you start eating donut holes before then and having coffee before then. But at 9:30,
Yep.
we'd love to just invite people to come and to just to connect with one another, be casual, no agenda, no anything. Our worship service time, will start at 10 o'clock, just as it has been. And so that will begin on May the 19th. And then if you didn't get enough donut holes during our The Gathering time,
Yep.
or whatever it is, whatever type of little small finger food that we have, you can come that afternoon, and we're going to have momentum. And so at 5:15, we're going to have Charles Blanton, one of our own finest, amazing, tongue slap in your face barbecue.
Awesome.
So Charles will do a great job with this. He enjoys doing it, and we certainly appreciate him. The way I keep saying it is, Charles, you're getting close. If you'll just keep practicing, and we're going to give you more and more opportunities to practice. So,
Uh,
he's amazing cook, and so this is going to be an all out barbecue on May 19th. So we got the momentum at 5:15. And then we have our time to get together and celebrate what God has been doing in life of our church. We have the momentum, the gathering part. It's still pretty informal. We move upstairs. We show some slides. We have some engagement. Our people share kind of updates on what's going on in the life of our church. So that's a really good time. And then I hope to have even some closer to final drawings for our building. So it's going to be a big day. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah, that'll be great. That'll be an awesome time for everyone. Yeah, just a great way for people to engage, catch up on what's going on in the life of the church. Pastor Will, speaking of the life of the church, how can folks be praying for the church this week?
Well, I tell you an area that, in light of the young people coming, obviously we continue with the building. We've got the schedule changes, and we want to connect with people this summer. We want that to be a big emphasis. But with the young people coming, really to start a new ministry, what you really need is someone to step forward in leadership. And so, I just would pray that God would send us a person of influence. I think
So,
as we move toward a building, as we move towards not just the building, because that won't do it by itself, but as we move towards some new ministries, we could start something with these college students that could actually grow and be there. That could be a big thing for them in the future, because we're going to have the space to do it. It's going to be available, all those kinds of things. But we really need a person or two, maybe one or two
yeah,
inside our church family, but particularly somebody that's got influence on the campus with other people. It takes, people reach people. And so maybe God would just direct us to someone that could help give some leadership and point us in that. It's one thing for us to say, God, we're willing to do this, add this additional type of ministry. It's another thing to actually have someone to help give leadership. So we just ask that God would give us a person of a peace out there that
yeah,
helps to build the bridges, and then a person to give some leadership to it. But they can pray about that. And then this summer, and we're just going to be connecting, and there's all manner of stuff. And we'll talk more
yeah,
about that next week in our podcast. But we're going to have a June, July, and early August schedule related to what we call meetups. And
yeah.
maybe through some of that, as we connect with one another and we hear the heart of one another, it's hard to have lots of conversation when the pastor's up there preaching. It kind of
Yeah,
gets in
yeah.
the way of conversations. So if doing these meetups and things of this nature, this will actually, who knows what God may raise up a person or bring us a person that would that could carry that type of ministry. So they can just be praying about the colleges and then the ongoing things that we have in the life of our church, the new people that are coming, the things that we have going. So it's a good time in the life of our church in a lot of ways.
Well, Pastor Will, thank you so much for the updates. Thanks for sharing your heart about how folks can be praying for the church this week. And thank you for watching. We'll see you back here next week. Make sure you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you always stay up to date on the most recent messages at Island Church and the most recent Island Church Weekly podcasts. We'll see you next week.